Almost half of our guests who sail with us choose to extend their river or ocean journeys with a land-based pre- or post-programme of a few days. In the UK, we offer several specially curated extensions, a few of which I'd like to share with you today, since they include privileged access to some very special friends' ancestral homes. These are small group experiences to places that are otherwise quite hard to visit on your own. And we'll start with our original and unique Oxford and Highclere Castle extension.
Beyond London's hustle and bustle is a fascinating part of Great Britain few know well. A land of verdant green hills, villages carved of stone, spectacular palaces and remarkable castles, including one which has garnered international fame.
Welcome to Highclere Castle, the real Downton Abbey. Come on in.
The library, familiar to television audiences as Lord Grantham's private study, is an immaculate home for more than 5,000 books.
One of the most fun things in this room is its secret door, leading to my favourite room in the castle.
Known as the music room, its walls are adorned with 16th century Italian embroidery. And who could forget the infamous bedroom where scenes with the Turkish diplomat who met his untimely end were filmed. Also familiar from the series are the spectacular saloon and the elegant drawing room. With privileged access to Highclere Castle, Viking offers a special experience here. Every room, every display speaks to this castle's fascinating past. No room more surprising than the Egyptian exhibit, which includes numerous artifacts and a priceless sarcophagus.
It's from about 3,500 years old or so.
The collection is from the 5th Earl of Carnarvon, who together with Harold Carter discovered the tomb of King Tut. An impressive grand palace experience unfolds before you at Blenheim Palace, where you can immerse yourself in room after room of priceless treasures. This immaculate UNESCO World Heritage Site was the seat of the Dukes of Marlborough and the birthplace of one of the most recognised leaders of our time.
This is the room at Blenheim Palace where Winston Churchill was born. And over here, we have his baby vest, a tiny vest for a great man.
Outside, the finely detailed gardens are a lovely place to stroll. Brought to life by Lancelot Capability Brown, who also created the gardens at Highclere Castle, Blenheim's landscape is the epitome of English design and even includes a bridge that once had 30 rooms as part of these pristine grounds. In Oxford, exploring the hallowed halls of Oxford University is fascinating.
Karine!
Hello, Patrick.
My friend Patrick never tires of sharing this place of rich history. The University of Oxford is the oldest university in the English-speaking world and has been attended by Nobel Prize winners, kings, presidents and prime ministers. The university is actually a collection of 38 individual colleges. It's an intriguing world where every monument, every building has a story to tell. Beyond the university, at the Eagle and Child pub, you can step into the creative space of some of the world's greatest authors.
It was in this very room that C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien and a group of their friends, who were known as the Inklings, used to meet to talk about the books they were writing.
The Ashmolean Museum is another of my favourites. It began as a gallery of portraits and curiosities, with a catalogue being written by the janitor. It soon became the model of the modern museum.
It was the first purpose-built museum anywhere in the world, and now it is the oldest museum in the world.
And it's free, I hear.
It's free now. It wasn't when the Ashmolean opened in 1683.
And what did it cost then?
Hard to say, because there was no entry charge. There was an exit charge instead.
So the longer you stayed inside, the more you paid on exit.
That's right.
Very clever.
outside of Oxford, the quintessentially English Cotswolds are home to fairy tale landscapes and villages that have changed little over the centuries. Rural Britain is fascinating, and we can't wait to share its treasures with you. Our Explore More extension package makes it easy and utterly relaxing. There's never been a better way to explore the British countryside than with Viking.
Since many of you already know much about Highclere Castle, both from Downton Abbey and from over a dozen at home at Highclere Fridays on Viking.TV with the Earl and Countess of Carnarvon, we thought we'd take a closer look at Blenheim Palace now.
Standing proud in the British countryside is Blenheim Palace. Built in the early 1700s, the palace was a gift from the people of Britain to honour the Duke of Marlborough for his leadership in the Battle of Blenheim. A symbol built to withstand the test of time. But in 1892, Blenheim was nearly lost when Charles, the 9th Duke, inherited a bankrupt family name. However, he saw a quick solution and arranged marriage with the American heiress Consuelo Vanderbilt. She was the daughter of American Railroad Baron Cornelius Vanderbilt, and her mother, Alva, had long worked to find her a place in British aristocracy. It's been said that Consuelo was kept under lock and key until the wedding to keep her from eloping with her secret fiancé, and that she wept beneath her veil, dreading her future. Today, as you stroll amid the splendid halls of Blenheim Palace, you can almost hear Consuelo pacing, her sighs echoing off the elegant decor as she struggled with her outwardly polite yet loveless marriage. Reminders of that turbulent era are still present.
This great silver centrepiece was commissioned by the Duke of Marlborough to place on his dining table so that he did not have to look at his wife, Consuelo Vanderbilt. Consuelo also found this piece very useful because she didn't want to look at her husband either. She called it her cache-marie, hide my husband.
Blenheim Palace was also home to another important American heiress, Jenny Jerome, who married Lord Randolph Churchill. Together they were parents to this young man, who the world came to know as Sir Winston Churchill.
This is the room at Blenheim Palace where Winston Churchill was born. And over here we have his baby vest, a tiny vest for a great man.
Blenheim Palace is an architectural masterpiece with landscaping by Capability Brown, who also created the gardens at Highclere Castle. Named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Blenheim's scale and diversity is magnificent.
And should you happen to get locked into Blenheim Palace at night, you'll need this big key to get out. And it's a complicated procedure. Pull down, insert the key, lift the eagle's head, turn the key counterclockwise, which is counterintuitive, pull down the eagle's head, and open, sesame! That's it, we're out.
Come explore Blenheim Palace behind closed doors with Viking. Let us share with you this piece of noble British heritage.
Having just seen where Churchill was born, we thought this was a good segue to our second extension in England, from birthplace to final resting place, and the remarkable years of his life and leadership that made him so iconic. Take a look at what you can experience on this very special extension called Churchill's Britain.
Sir Winston Churchill. The name towers over Britain's history like a fortress. Follow in the footsteps of this revered and somewhat controversial statesman, and learn about the life that shaped him. London is filled with important sites relating to Sir Winston Churchill, and you'll see all of them staying in the heart of London. The government buildings of Westminster, 10 Downing Street, where Churchill slept in a bunkered annex during the war, St. Margaret's Church, where he married his beloved Clementine, the home where he passed away at age 90, and St. Paul's Cathedral, where his life was commemorated in a funeral befitting a king. Step into the cabinet war rooms after hours with Viking's privileged access. Explore historic artifacts and personal memorabilia. And in the underground bunker of the Harmsworth Room, imagine the switches and dials in motion as operators connected Churchill from the secret transatlantic telephone room to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, so the two men could plot their strategy against the Nazis. Beyond the city, it's off to Chartwell, the Churchill family home in the scenic Kent countryside, and Sir Winston's private retreat from the world. Stroll the expansive estate, the gardens he designed, and where he embraced the serenity of painting. Majestic Blenheim Palace, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, was Churchill's birthplace. You'll be warmly welcomed and enjoy further privileged access to people connected to Churchill. Nearby, visit Churchill's final resting place at St. Martin's Church in the village of Bladen. At the formerly top-secret Bletchley Park site, learn more about one of the most significant episodes of the war, when Alan Turing and his team of scientists broke the German Enigma code. Look upon Turing's legendary code-breaking machine, a device that hastened the defeat of the Nazis. Churchill's Britain is a fascinating 5-day, fully escorted immersion into the life of one of England's most notable statesmen. That also includes memorable private dinners, palace lunches, and much, much more. It's a rare opportunity to uncover the real Sir Winston Churchill, one of the most powerful men in British history.
You can explore more of Britain's great homes and gardens through our third extension called just that, Britain's Great Homes, Gardens and Gin. From Highclere Castle to Highgrove House, the home of Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, to Chavenage House, known to many as the setting for Poldark, the very popular PBS series, and Broughton Hall, spectacular home of the wonderfully talented Fiennes family. We share privileged access to a part of Britain otherwise hard to reach. And with that little bit of that very British tipple called gin in between.
Explore several of Britain's most loved country estates on this exclusive extension with Viking. Oxford, a city known for its prestigious university, will be your base for 4 unforgettable days. You might recognise Downton Abbey, the fictional estate on PBS Masterpiece, sponsored by Viking. In real life, it's beautiful Highclere Castle, the Jacobean creation of noted architect Sir Charles Barry, who also designed the Houses of Parliament. Beyond the rooms everyone knows is a treasure in Highclere's basement, a rare collection documenting the 5th Earl's Egyptian expedition that discovered King Tutankhamun's tomb. Outside, the castle's expansive gardens include many of the botanicals used to make Highclere Castle's exclusive gin. Nearby is the historic home of another legendary gin, the Bombay Sapphire Distillery. Here you'll learn about their distinctive botanical ingredients, an influence on the character of Bombay's taste. Select your botanicals and create your own aroma profile to help you better understand the complexity of Bombay's vapor infusion distillation process that's used to create this unusual spirit. Medieval Broughton Castle is another gem. Home to the Fiennes family, which includes the great explorer and author Sir Ranulph Fiennes. This fascinating estate was part of the PBS Masterpiece miniseries Wolf Hall. Broughton Castle also played an important role in the Oscar-winning movie Shakespeare in Love. During your private viewing, be sure to enjoy the ladies' gardens, perfectly manicured since the 1890s. Next up, Chavenage House, better known as Trenwith in another PBS period drama, Poldark. Built in 1576 in the Elizabethan style, the home has retained much of its original charm. You'll be warmly welcomed by friendly family members who'll share tales of the home's storied past. And if you're lucky, enjoy some of their delicious homemade marmalade. But as you explore, keep an eye out, because some say Chavenage is haunted. Then it's on to the gardens of Highclere House, the private home of their Royal Highnesses the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall. This Georgian home, nestled in the Cotswolds, is relatively new, built in the 18th century. Its idyllic gardens are what truly sets the home apart. A haven created by His Royal Highness, who once stated, "My aim has always been to try and enhance the setting of the house in the landscape, and above all, to please the eye, warm the heart, and feed the soul." As you make your way between England's great homes and gardens on this relaxing, fully escorted adventure, you'll pass through some of Britain's most picturesque landscapes and quaint villages, before returning each evening to the comfort of your elegant hotel, tucked away in the heart of historic Oxford. Our UK Great Homes Gardens and Gin extension has been thoughtfully curated to provide an unparalleled window into the lives and responsibilities of the British nobility. And with Viking's privileged access, you'll experience these delightful country homes in a way most never will. It's a great way to extend your travels with Viking.
You just saw glimpses of Chavenage House, but I'd like to share a little closer look at Chavenage, the home of the warmest, funnest family I think I know.
A rare treasure in the UK is Chavenage House. Located near Tetbury, pretty precisely midfield between the homes of His Royal Highness Prince Charles and Her Royal Highness Princess Anne, you may better know Chavenage as Trenwith in the popular TV series Poldark. While you might think having a historic home is glamorous, the Loseley Williams family, who've owned Chavenage for generations, can tell you it's anything but. It takes a lot of hard work to pay the taxes and fix the leaks. When we visit, they actually put my friends and I to work. But they're fun people who also make what I think is the world's best homemade marmalade. And coincidentally, they're also Vikings, which we only recently discovered when I took a good look at Patriarch David's hands.
Your dad is not only a Viking on the right-hand side, he's a Viking on the left-hand side as well. Can you see this? This is the Dupuytren contraction.
We all got it then. It does.
Do you all have it? It is a bloodless test that proves if you have this contraction, you have the Viking gene.
These are some of the most fun, genuine people I've ever come across. And they are the biggest reason Chavenage will always have a special place in my heart, and most probably also anyone else's who has the privilege to visit them.
These are but a few of the different ways that you can extend your Viking itinerary in England. Should you want to experience any of these extensions, they connect to different river and oceans itineraries, which I'll now show you very briefly. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed.